We are on 8.2.
Yes.
Apply
Wait, did we have to turn in all that?
exponents.
Like, on your classes?
Pretty sure there was a tab, but I could be wrong.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see a tab, but
Well, then if not, I'll just come look at them in a minute when
I
we're
just didn't
done.
finish it last week because I didn't have it done.
Or I'll put up a tab and have y'all submit it when we're done here. All right. So,
you did put a tab in.
okay. So we have the quotient of powers property. So let A be a non-zero real number, and let M and N be positive integers such that M is greater than N. So we say that to divide powers having the same base, subtract the exponents. So if I have something like a to the m divided by a to the n, that would be a to the m minus n, assuming a is not equal to 0. So an example of this, 4 to the 7th over 4 squared is equal to 4 to the 7 minus 2, which is 4 to the 5th. And then one more property, we have a power of a quotient property. Let A and B be real numbers with B not equal to 0, and let M be a positive integer so then we can say that to find a power of a quotient, find the power of the numerator and the power of the denominator, and divide so this would look like A divided by B all raised to the m would be equal to A to the m over B to the m, assuming B is not equal to 0. And an example would be 3 over 2 raised to the 7 would be 3 to the 7th over 2 to the 7th. Because that's what
Wait, should I turn my work?
it would look like. After we're done with notes, sure. No, you're going to turn it in because there's a tab for it. So, all right, examples. Starting with number 4, it just says to simplify the expression and write your answer using exponents. So, like, don't multiply this stuff all the way through. Just leave it as exponents. So we've got 2 to the 11th over 2 to the 6th. So according to the first property that we had, okay, we're just going to take it. They both have the same base. Okay, they're both 2. So it's going to be 2 to the 11 minus 6, which is 2 to the 5th. Then number 6, we've got negative 6 to the 8th over negative 6 to the 5th. So what would I do here?
You subtract 8.
Okay, so I've got negative 6 to the 8 minus 5, which is negative 6 to the 3rd. Negative 12 to the 9th over negative 12 to the 3rd. What's this one?
You subtract 1.
So negative 12 to the 9 minus 3, which is negative 12 to the 6th. Okay, and obviously the stuff that we were doing before, because it was an even power, we would get rid of the negative, but these just say to leave it written as an exponent, so you can just leave them like this, okay? Let's see. All right, so number 10 is going to add in a little extra level of difficulty, but still not bad. We've got 6 to the 7th times 6 to the 4th all over 6 to the 6th. So any ideas what we need to do here, or what we should do first?
Do you add the things?
I think, don't you do the exponent first, and then you have the answer yours.
Okay, what am I adding then if I'm adding?
It's the two exponents in the top.
The 2 on the top? Okay, yeah, so I'm multiplying, so I'm going to add those exponents. So 6 to the 7 plus 4, which is 6 to the 11th over 6 to the 6th. Now what?
You subtract those.
So 6 to the 11 minus 6, which is 6 to the 5th. So now the next couple are going to use this property here, okay, where you have a power and you got to put it on both pieces. So something like 12, we have 3 halves raised to the 4th. So with this, we just throw this on both pieces. So we have 3 to the 4th over 2 to the 4th. Let's see, 14. I've got negative 2/5 raised to the 5th. So what do I do with this one?
You got 5.
Okay, put a 5 on both of them. What about my negative?
You keep it. Just
Yep. I'm going to keep it. Okay, it's an odd exponent, and it's touching those things. So 2 to the 5th over 5 to the 5th. Okay, if it had been an even power, the negative would have gone away. All right, so 16 is 1 over 9 to the 5th times 9 to the 11th. Okay. Any ideas what I need to do here?
Should you multiply them now?
Well, I've got one on the bottom and another one that you could technically say is on top. Okay, so I could rewrite this just because this is being multiplied, okay? I could imagine that this is written over a 1. Okay, so I can combine these two since it's just a 1 on top to give me 9 to the 11th over 9 to the 5th. And then what would I need to do? Okay, subtract them. So 9 to the 11 minus 5, which is 9 to the 6th.
How'd you get 11?
11.
That's what I started with.
Joey. Just the 11 disappeared. I don't think Joey's been working.
Why
I've been
would
working
it be
totally.
9 to the 12? Isn't there a 1?
It's just a 1. If it was 9 to the 1st, or just like a 9, like if that was a 9 instead, then it would be 9 to the 12th. But it's just a 1, so it's just 9 times 1, or 9 to the 11th times 1. All right, 18. I've got 4 to the 9th times negative 1/4 to the 5th. So what do we think I need to do with this one?
Put the 4 over 1. Right? Or I mean the 1 over 4. Do you do the same thing you do with 16? Kind of?
Yes, but I need to do something else first.
Do you put a 5 with the 1 and 4?
Okay, I need to put a 5 with the 1 and the 4. Okay, technically I don't have to put it with the 1. I'll write it, but you don't technically have to because 1 to any power is just 1. So this is 4 to the 9th times negative, okay, 1 to the 5th over 4 to the 5th. So now, okay, remember, this one is technically like this. Okay, just to help you think about it. So what I need to do now?
You just subtract the. Oh, you add 9 to both of them. I don't think you need to. Okay.
You can't add 9 to both of them. They don't have the same
Oh.
base.
I don't need
Can't have 9 with both. What'd you say?
I don't need to the other side. I mean to the.
Okay, remember, 1 to the 5th is just 1. Okay, 1 to any power is just 1. So I've got 4 to the 9th times negative 1 over 4 to the 5th. So how would I combine those?
I have no idea.
You combine them with math.
Okay, look at 16.
Say
Okay, how did I combine them in 16?
You subtracted them. I mean, wait.
Oh wait, no, you switched them. You switched where they were.
Okay, so I'm going to put the 4 to the 9th on top. So I'm going to keep the negative sign. Now what? Now I can subtract. So it's negative 4 to the 9 minus 5, which is negative 4 to the 4th.
Yay. You're so good.
All right, so the next ones are doing the same thing, except for you are going to do them with variables in them, okay, instead of numbers. So 22, z to the 8th times 1 over z to the 7th. So what do I do here?
Put the 0 down.
Why is there a line in the Z?
Because it makes it look not like a 2.
Oh, okay.
This is their hard to do. I don't know if you're.
I'm not sophisticated.
It's because if you do a 0 to a 2, so she used to roll on 3.
I know. Just like sevens.
Yeah, people put lines to their sevens.
I don't do that.
All right, so what do I do now?
I know.
What? I've never seen it done like Z. Alright, let's see what we got.
With Z with the best.
What?
Don't laugh. It wasn't good.
That was funny. Do you add? Do you add? No.
It's alright,
Oh, wait,
so
wait, so
Z
you put-
and 8,
I was gonna
Alright,
say,
on
do you
the
add
top.
the exponents?
Alright.
Yeah.
then you got Z and 7 on the bottom.
Like that?
What?
That's what you're wanting me to do?
Yeah, there you go.
So then
Z.
what?
The answer is Z.
Okay, so I've got
The answer would be Z, alright, and then we got 8 minus 7,
Z.
And that would equal Z?
and now it equals Z.
Z.
Look at you
With
go.
a invisible one.
Do we have to write like the step where you like write 8 minus 7?
Yep.
no, you don't have to.
Oh.
I'm just showing it just so that if you look back, you know what we did. All right, 24. J over K to the 11th. What do we do with this one?
Do you add 11? No, because it has parentheses. Do you add 11 both of them?
Okay, put 11 on both of them. So J to the 11 over K to the 11. (26) negative 1 over x raised to the 5th. How about this one?
You add 5. No, wait, yes, you do add 5 to them.
Okay, put 5 on both of them. So negative 1k to the 5th over x to the 5th. Okay, the 1 doesn't need the 5 on it, so I'm going to rewrite it as negative 1 over x to the 5th. Okay, remember, if this had been an even power, you would need to get rid of the negative. But since it's odd, it stays. (28) negative a over b to the 4th. What do I have with this one?
Oh wait, you're gonna add like
You put 4 of them.
yeah. Which,
Okay, 4 on both of them. What about my negative?
It's still a negative.
You keep it because it's in
my
the
one
thing.
moment of glory and you took it away.
Yeah.
It's okay, Chris, you're still better than that.
Are you sure that I keep the
No, you
negative?
don't keep it.
Yeah,
You
you don't
only
keep
keep
the
it if it's
negative.
outside of the parentheses. Because if it's outside of the parentheses, it's not connected, so then you have
Hey, thanks for
Okay, well, since it's inside and I have an even exponent,
you don't have
okay, the negative sign goes away. So the negative sign is gone.
I do this.
In your chair, Chris.
I can.
All right, 30. A to the 7 over 2b all raised to the 5th. Okay, so this one's a little different. So what do you think I do with this one?
Ooh, there's a 7 and a 5.
Okay, so that part is a rule that we looked at yesterday.
Do you
Okay, I'm going to multiply them. So that's going to be on top, a to the 7 times 5. Okay, what about the bottom?
2b5. 2b. Why is there a b?
There's just 2 things on the bottom. So what are you wanting me to do with the 5?
You put the 5 on the 2 and the b.
Okay, put the 5 on the 2 and the b, so 2 to the 5th and b to the 5th. So just to clean this up a little bit, I've got a to the 35th over 2 to the 5th and then b to the 5th. Okay, if you wanted to multiply out 2 to the 5th, that one's not something that's like super hard, so you could do that. So you could either leave it there or you could do a to the 35th over 32b to the 5th.
It's getting complicated now. It was easy, but
All right.
this is all the ways you can do it.
We're almost done with the section.
Tommy
Or almost done with what we're doing with it, I should say.
What do you want me to say? What do you want me to do?
All right.
That's not British.
British.
3x to the 5th over 7y squared, all raised to the 3rd.
So you multiply the 5 and the 3 and the 3 and the 2. But, like,
Okay, so for the exponents, I've got x to the 5 times 3, and I've got y to the 2 times 3. Okay, so what about the numbers in front, the 3 and the 7? Do they get an exponent? Do they stay what they are?
They multiply the
they get the 3.
Okay, they both are going to get the 3, so 3 to the 3rd and 7 to the 3rd. So then that gives me 3 to the 3rd, x to the 15th over 7 to the 3rd, y to the 6th. Okay, another way, I'm okay if you leave it there. If you wanted to go a little farther, 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 is 27. So you could use 27x to the 15th over 7 cubed y to the 6th.
But that's not like a necessary step, right?
No, if you left it here, that would be okay.
Right.
7 cubed is 343. That's just one that you're going to see a lot. So if you're just like super curious, it's 343. I don't know why, but your book likes to do 7 cubed like all the time. So, anyways, I think whoever wrote the book, that 7 must have been their favorite number or something like that. I don't know, cause yeah, I don't know. All right, 34. Adding some more difficulty to it. 2x cubed over y, all that cubed, times 1 over 6x cubed.
You multiply the 3 and 3. Oh my god,
Okay, so for the first piece, I've got x to the 3 times 3. And what else happens over there?
you add the 3 to the 2. So it's 2 to the 3.
Okay, 2 to the 3rd. And what happens with the y?
You got the 3.
Okay, put the 3 on it. So y to the 3rd times 1 over 6x to the 3rd. All right, so 2 cubed is what? That's something we should know. 2 times 2
4.
times 2.
8.
8.
Yay.
X to the 9th over y cubed times 1 over 6x cubed. So since I'm multiplying, I can just smush these two things together for the moment. So 8x to the 9th over, I like my variables and numbers in order, so 6x cubed y cubed. Now what do I need to do?
You multiply now.
So I've got x and x, so what would I need to do to get rid of that? Because I can only have them in one spot.
I'm trying to divide, but not subtract. Do just something. You don't know.
Do you add them?
I have said every form of add. You divide that minus a divide.
Do you cancel
I
them
did.
out?
Multiple, divide, subtract, add. I said everything. Do you move it?
Okay, I'm subtracting them.
Oh.
Okay. You didn't really tell me what to do with it. You just kind of said subtract.
Oh, you subtract the 9 and the 3.
Okay.
I knew.
So 8x to the 9 minus 3 over 6y cubed. Okay, how many, or is there any way to reduce 8 and 6?
There can't be, right? It's like,
Well, they're both even numbers, so what does that mean?
oh, you can divide them by 2.
Okay, so I can take a 2 out of both, so 4x to the 6th over 3y cubed. Okay, so that's the answer for that one.
I was being dumb. I looked at it and was like, oh, it's an x and it's a y. You can't do anything with
It's an accidental one.
No, an x and a y. You learn how to read lists.
Shut up.
Alright, last problem, and then I'll assign you some to do.
Instead of having like a quirky thing, can we have can errors count as Chris's puns because they're so bad? Because if so, we would have like 8 points. Because he said like 8 puns in the last minute,
Yeah.
and they're so bad. I think they deserve to be errors.
You laughed at like 2 or 3 of them.
Okay, that was because you said now you need what you need to do.
You left another one too.
Alright.
I know.
You add the 2 to the 5 in the end.
Okay, so I'm going to put the 2 on both pieces. So, and what happens to the negative sign?
You get rid of it.
Okay, get rid of it because 2 is even. So I've got 5 squared over x squared times, what happens to the second piece?
You multiply the 2 to the 4, and and then you add whatever that is to 2.
Okay, and then what about the y?
The y you multiply 3.
Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to combine all this stuff together. So, what's 5 squared?
25.
25 over x squared times 2 squared.
Oh, 4. Yeah.
4. And then I've got x to the 4 times 2, which is 8, over y to the 3 times 2, which is 6. So, what's 25 times 4? 100. X to the 8th over, and now I can just throw these two bottom things side by side. X squared y to the 6th. And then what's the last thing that I need to do?
You subtract the 8 and the 2 because you can only have 1.
Yep, 'cause I can only have each thing written once. So 100 x to the 8 minus 2 over y to the 6th. So that's 100 x to the 6 over y to the 6th. Cool?
Yes.
Any questions? All right.
I think
My
I will
question is, why are
actually-
you wearing a rain jacket inside when it's not raining?
Why not?
It's not a rain jacket. It's a windbreaker.
Exactly what I said last year.
Okay, why do you remember
A
that?
regular jacket.
Why
That's
you-
the one thing James
It's a
remembers.
weird-
You say you remember
It's
like
a
everything about
windbreaker.
it.
I can assure you it is not waterproof.
The one
It's a
thing,
windbreaker.
the one thing James remembers is when I said nice rain jacket, he said it's a windbreaker.
Yeah, yeah.
One thing he
Wait, why do you
remembers
not
for
wear that?
last year.
Why do you not wear that?
You thought it looked dorky.
You should wear it tomorrow, James.
If you wear it
You look so
tomorrow-
swaggy, and with your LeBrons that you got for your birthday. You look good.
If you wear it tomorrow, I will.
Even if it doesn't fit, just wear it.
You can do the thing where you tie it around your waist.
Tie it around your shoulders like those tennis balls.
Wait, I thought that wasn't homework. It's movement.
Oh yeah.
Well, considering the fact that you have 20 some minutes, I think you can knock
20
them
minutes.
out.
Oh, we
And it's
got
due
it.
Friday, so
Got it.
Can I go to the bathroom?
yes.
Can I also do?
No, you can't go together.
Yes.
Oh, you said yes.
Alright, those are your problems. Okay, they are due Friday, but you have 20 minutes, so I suggest you use it. Okay, or else I might make you turn it in tomorrow, like 5 minutes into class.